Hey everybody, in today's video, I want to talk to you about apartment syndications, what those are and how to buy apartment, how it allows us to buy big apartment complexes with $0 out of our pocket. My name is Jonathan. We run a mastermind that is all about buying massive apartment buildings. I've been in real estate for several years and have been able to replace my income through real estate. So I love real estate as a whole. My partner has around 30 million in assets under management, and we both really feel like apartments are the best asset class right now, or asset to buy. And we've kind of switched pretty much our whole model to that. But what is a syndication? A syndication is basically just a group of investors that pool their money together to buy assets. Simple as that. Bringing money together to buy bigger deals. And you know, a syndication can be for businesses, or it can be for debt funds, or it can be for any type of real estate. And you may have heard it done in smaller real estate deals where you just simply bring on somebody to provide the funds, you fix up the building, and then you both split the profit. So this is just a larger scale. And so, yeah, and then apartments. So the next step, understanding apartment, the syndication is a pool of money, comes from investors. Well, the next step, if you really want to get into apartment syndications, you just simply find the deal. And you know, we're looking for apartments that are over 30 units. We believe that once you get over 30, you have a more passive investment, something that you can hire a better management company, and it's more reliable. You know, the more units, the better multiplication factor you have. So if you improve the property, you know, and you can increase rents to just say an extra $30, well, that's $30 times the number of units. And that increases your income and then increases your NOI, which is your profit margin. And that's how your property is valued. And that's how you increase and create what's called forced appreciation very quickly. And you know, another reason we do that is it's more stable through bad economies. Again, we buy for cash flow. If you've heard us on this channel, that's one of the ways we protect ourselves against, you know, downfalls, is we buy, you know, at 70-80% of the value, and we fix it up, and you know, through forced appreciation and the property's already cash flowing, we have a lot of wiggle room, a lot of buffer room and room for error. And then the other reason we are focused on apartments rather than single family, or rather than any of the other things I mentioned, businesses, debt funds, or whatever, in syndications, which I love businesses. We have a business, several businesses that, you know, and we're looking for more, but we believe apartments, rather than single family, rather than these other vehicles, have massive upside potential. Okay, and it doesn't take much, like I already mentioned, to create incredible appreciation, substantial stuff that, you know, where it's even made our partners, you know, $1 million in just 14 months off one deal. If you haven't seen that story of how that happened, I can put a link in the description to show you that, or we may just create another training to show you that. But you know, and as far as people ask a lot, how do you find these deals? How do you find where you can be 70-80% all in? Well, the answer is there's many ways, but the biggest focus, I believe, especially in the market, in the economy we're in today, is cold calling. Get out there and just start calling people. And if you don't want to do it, find a VA, which is a virtual assistant. You know, there's plenty of those out there that you can just teach how to do it. We have cold calling scripts that we give in our program, but you know, we would happily give those to you if you needed. Just reach out, whatever. But cold calling off market deals is one of the biggest ways to do this. But you can also just start networking, start hitting up brokers, start talking to people that are working for apartment complexes, whether it's management companies, HVAC companies, landscape CPAs, attorneys, blah, blah, blah. Just list goes on and on. You can be talking to those people that are directly talking to the owners and to the property and see, do you know anybody that wants to sell? And so, if you're looking for a deal, that's what an apartment syndication is we generally are buying value add apartments. But you can also do this just for new construction and building apartments. It's just generally going to be a longer wait time to see the gains, but it could be a much more substantial, much larger gain through that. And you can use other people's money without using your own. And the last thing you probably need to understand, raising private money is where you're going to be able to jump in. An apartment syndication, the way you get in it with no money out of pocket is you add value through responsibilities, through experience. There's different pieces to the pie when talking about an apartment syndication. And however many of those pieces you can bring to the table, will give you added equity percentage in the deal. So let's talk about private money lenders versus limited partners or investors. Okay, so a private money lender, some people err on the side of, I don't want any partners, any more investors in the deal. They say it may complicate things, and I understand that perspective, and that's totally valid. So a private money lender would just be loaning money. It's just a regular person, just like an investor, just like a limited partner, just loaning money. Whereas, and they get a note, and if you don't pay, they can put a lien against the property. But a investor is putting money in to get equity out of the deal, and they get preferred returns, or they get, their name is on their note is against the LLC, so they get a piece of ownership. But the money, it's like you need to think about it. Like if I were to go buy a business right now, and I just brought money, I just bought the business and said, "Okay, have fun." There would be a chaos. It would be a mess. If all that I'm bringing is money, it has less percent equity. I don't have as much value that I'm bringing. There's still many pieces to the puzzle that it's needed. So as a syndicator, as someone who's going to set up an apartment syndication, the more things I can do, like being a loan sponsor, managing the deal, being the property man, finding the deal, there's so many things I can do to add value and get, we're seeing deals, syndications, where the people bringing the money, that equates for about 10% of the equation. So you can have 90% ownership of a deal without bringing any of your own money. And the last thing you need to know when setting this thing up is you want to connect with a good attorney. When you're wanting to go buy real estate with $0 down, you're wanting to create apartment syndications, especially 30 plus units, you need to make sure you have a good attorney that's drafting up LPA documents and PPM documents. What does that stand for? LPA is Limited Partner Agreement, and PPM is Private Placement Memorandum. And these are just like the laws of how everything's going to flow, how all the rights of the limited partners, can they just step in and tell you to sell the property? There's all kinds of things, finalizing what's the, deal structure, how much are they getting, all this stuff. You want to make sure it's all very well legalized and structured in these documents. So big deal. The syndication, so we walked you through what is a syndication. how can you use the syndication? How do you find these apartment deals? And how do you raise the private money? And that is all you really need to know to buy real estate, buy these apartment deals with $0 down using apartment syndications. I'm sure there's a ton more we can talk through. We go through all of this in a 6-week training in our mastermind, but the key premise of even a mastermind or anything like that is, the more you know, the more value you can bring and the more equity you can have in these deals. And the more people you know, the more deals you can do, and the more knowledge you're going to be able to get, and the more credibility you're going to be able to get, and the bigger deals you're going to be able to get. So those are the main things that you need to know about what is an apartment syndication, how does it work, and how do you buy real estate with $0 down. Hope that helps. All right. If you actually want to be involved in something like a mastermind, you want to find out more, let us know. We'd love to connect and see if what we do is a good fit for you. Yeah, I think there's a lot that we could go over, but we'd love to connect with you. If that resonates with you, let us know. All right. Have a good day.